Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we want to take a look at a really nice base which I'm using right now in the Champions War League Elite, and it's actually kind of like an older base of mine, but it's defending pretty well. Like so far it did amazingly well. There's a Discord bot, the minion bot, which you can use, and with this bot you can pretty much track the statistic of you in offense and, for example, defense. And on this list, you guys can see the hit rate list on my bases. So for example, on iTzu, I'm all the time running so far the this base, and I got tripled only 2 out of 18 attacks. And this means there are a couple of clans in there which claim to be really good. And out of those guys, only 2 triples out of 18 attacks, which means they even had cleanup attacks and stuff like this, and still needed 18 attempts to get 2 triples. So the base should be pretty decent, and I will take a look at it with you guys together, and after this we get into a couple of replays. First off, I will talk about in the end how you guys can tweak it a little bit depending on how you get attacked. But the first thing we want to take a look at is kind of the centralized tornado trap, because that's defending against most of those really spammy strategies like the E-Drags, the Dragons, the Packer Smash, stuff like this. With the Tornado Trap really centralized, you can counter that really easily. Especially the kind of centralized Inferno Tower as well is really good against most of those spammy troop entries, which you guys will see in a second as well. One thing as well which is really annoying to deal with is this setup on the 3 to 6 o'clock side with those really with the set of all of the compartments, which makes it really easy for the queen to kind of backtrack. And if you really if you didn't funnel properly, you will get a huge issue. And once again, I marked the tornado trap in the core just to make sure that you guys see it. And obviously, just so you guys know, there's the link for this base in the description. So once again, what I was talking about is how the setup of the defenses work at the bottom, with which making it really hard to funnel. But let's check out a couple of attacks, because I think that's the best way to prove for you guys that this base is actually pretty good. So let's check out the first attack, which is going to be a Queen Charge Hawk Rider attack. And that's typically a really easy strategy to defend, mostly because you just have to predict the entry of the opponent. And then you have to just mine the back end with spring traps. That's basically the setup. You obviously make you kind of open against miners and stuff like this, but come on, who is using miners right now? So what he's doing, he is starting off with his queen walk at the bottom, but this means he has to take out the cannon first, and then his queen is walking on the right side. If you do not do this, you will get huge issues, because like I said, your queen will backtrack and walk into areas which you don't really want her to go. And you guys can see this guy knows what he's doing, but there's one critical error, and that's his test wall breakers, because the test wall breaker didn't trigger the small bomb, neither his king, and this means the queen will not walk into the base, but she will walk alongside the wall and get into the range of the air defense. He lost already most of his healers, and at this point it's only trying to save the attack. I will show you a couple of attacks or replays later how this works if the queen is actually going inside, because apparently it's a really well-known entry, but it never works. So I don't know why people even try that. But like I said, it's already a kind of old base of mine, so it's kind of likely that a couple of players know this base in the war community. I don't think that any I didn't show it anywhere on YouTube, I think, so far. So this base should be working really well, and it would be nice of you guys if you could tell me how it works for you, because I think it should be really nice. The next one attack, which we are looking right now, went, I think, a little bit lucky. He wanted to have his heroes walk the 9 to 6 o'clock side, and what is happening instead is that his queen is actually going inside, following the slammer, and is actually taking out my queen. What the freaking heck is happening over there? No one can tell me that this was planned. But let's check out the Lalo, because the Lalo has a huge issue. Not only the Tesla on the right side, which is messing up the pathing for the runes completely, but we have all of these Expos and Wizard Towers which are not tanked, by any air defenses on the right side, which makes it super hard to actually get through this part with the loons. So you guys can see on the right side, not a single Expo even died. Like all of the Expos are still alive on the right side. All of the loons, like he had a huge group on the right side with his loons, and still all of them died. And this is going to be once again another fail. I don't think we have to watch the rest because, trust me, this is going to be a fail with 2 Inferno Towers up. Let's check out the next attack. And there's going to be a Queen Charge Lalo attack from Vote 1 Hive. Nice name. And let's check out the next, which is going to be an Earthquake Charge, which is kind of unusual, but he will go for it. And once again, he is starting at the 6 o'clock side, taking the gamble on where the Queen goes, because the Queen could have went either right or left. Because of the setup of the compartments, his Queen is going to the left side, and now he's using the Earthquake. The value looks really nice, but there's one big issue, and once again, it's the air defense next to the Townhall. With having the base set up that the most obvious charge is at the bottom side of the base, this means you will always charge under the horizon of the defenses, which means you guys can see it. Even though the troops are not inside of the range of the defense, they are in range. That's how it works apparently in Clash of Clans. And this is why you always have to offer Queen Chargers at the bottom of your base, because if someone's charging in from there, they won't have a nice time, trust me. And this happened to this guy as well. He's trying to save it with the Lalo attack, but I can already spoil that it won't work. But let's check out how this goes, because we can still see a couple of traps and how it overall works. He tries to Lalo the upper side, but normally the sweeper setup is really annoying for Lalo and dragons in general. So he's starting off with his slammer, trying to deploy the slammer actually onto the R2 tower, but the outside mortar is getting loot by that. And you guys can see as well, the tornado trap is not against Lalo or whatever, it's against those spammy attacks, those spammy entries with the electro dragons, with the dragons, with P.E.K.K.A smash, stuff like this, because that's what most people are using, and this is what I try to defend with this base. So would be a huge beneficial thing if you could give me feedback on the base and how it works for you. I hope it works really well for you. So this is going to be a 1-star because, well, it's like I said, one of those wars where you have multiple attacks, which means like if you get a 1-star, it doesn't really matter. 3-star and 2-star apparently at some points you will get it anyway. But yeah, that's the next defense. Let's check out the next attack, which is going to be a Queen Charge Hawk Rider attack again. Because like I said, Queen Charge Hawk Rider is the favorite troop, or like the favorite army composition of a lot of players right now. But let's check out how this goes, because it looks in the beginning really, really good. He's doing pretty much the same entry as the first guy was doing. He has his wall breakers with him, he's following the left side, his queen is going to the right side, so everything is going pretty much the same. But one thing which he is doing better is he's able to actually use the king that he's triggering the small bomb. Now you guys see, he got the wall breaker done, he's charging into the base, and so far it's looking really good, because from this compartment he can access the multi, the eagle, the town hall, both heroes, and he can get rid of the core, which means he has really nice pathing for his Hawk Riders. It's looking really, really good for him. But let's check out how it works if you have proper spring traps. Now we start off with the Slammer tanking for his Hawk Riders, and then he will start with the Hawk Riders itself. But now let's check out the Hawk Riders. 3 Hawks, 6 Hawks already gone. So let's check out the next. Once again, 3 Hawks, 9 Hawk Riders are gone. Let's check out a couple of more. Once again, 2 Hawk Riders. So you guys can see if you're setting up correctly your spring traps, and especially if those spring traps hit the Hawk Riders in the beginning of the attack. Like if you have in the end a couple of strings, that's nice, like right there. But the most important spring traps are the string traps where the attacker's entering with his Hawk Riders, because if you can get rid of Hawk Riders over there, he's lacking damage on the Hawk Rider part, which means he has to invest the heal spells more early, because his Hawk Riders are pathing more slowly through the base. And this was exactly what happened. Obviously he's getting a high percentage, but that, like, this base is set up to not get triple. It's not about the 1-star, this 2-star, whatever. You do not want to get the triple. That's something which you guys have to keep in mind, because that's the setup of the base. And now, like I promised in the beginning, I want to talk about one more thing, because it's kind of like an old base, and that's how I used it in all those wars. But we can still do improvements, because since I built this base, a lot of things changed. The first thing is obviously trap placement, but it's all about this one trap, which I would change if I would be you guys, or like I guess I will already like post the correct link in the video. But this trap over there was not really successful. It was in the beginning there if someone would do an electron because of the set of the sweepers, but no one is doing that. So you can get rid of this this skeleton trap because no one is triggering that. So let's put it somewhere near the core where spam troops like electron, Packer Smash, dragons, Lalo, I don't know, whatever you guys want is triggering them, because air traps right now get triggered by most of the attacks. Even Packer Smash trigger air skeletons because you have the healers with you. So air skeletons normally the better way to go. So let's check out once again. We have all of those 3 air skeletons set up around the town hall, which means we have really nice value against those electro dragons, because that's the normal side where people are coming in. And this should get rid of a lot of potential, especially with this centralized skeleton trap set to air. And that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys will like the base. And I hope you guys liked all of the tips and like small tricks I gave you guys in this video as well. If you liked this episode, let me know that. If you didn't like it, let me know that as well, so I can improve. And I will see you guys in the next video.